And it's my honor to introduce and welcome Miss Mary Ann Jacobs with the the Gateway Council of the Girl Scouts.
Holly, thank you so much. Trisha Ray and Elizabeth are joining me today as well. And Trisha Ray is going to share some slides with you. I will tell you, and you'll hear a little bit later. So I am the CEO of the Girl Scouts of Gateway Council, and I really am honored to be with you. Both Trisha Ray and Elizabeth have, all three of us have a really strong background in communications. I actually came out of the telecommunications arena in communications. So I know that what your schedules are like, and I support all that you do. So thanks for having us. We're going to talk about the Get Real program. And while many of you may be familiar with Girl Scouts, and perhaps you've enjoyed our cookies once or twice, and I will share with you that there's a new cookie coming out in January that may be the competitor for Thin Mints. So Thin Mints have always been our top seller. But I know that you may have enjoyed some cookies, so look for the new one called Adventurefuls. But I just wanted to give you a quick overview of who we are, because mostly the public does think Girl Scouts cookies.
Definitely.
Girl Scouting builds girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. And for more than 100 years, we have created and optimized an environment where girls freely explore, expand their perspectives, and they discover the unimaginable. As the largest girl-serving organization outside of the public school system, we help girls discover their untapped potential and watch as they become leaders, which we know some of you that are female on this call were Girl Scouts and continue to be Girl Scout alum. So at the Gateway Council, we have the privilege of serving more than 10,000 girls, of which 2,500 are from lower socioeconomic communities. And we do this purposely. It's critical to ensure that every girl, regardless of their economic status or the school they attend, has an opportunity and access to our research-based and outcome-driven programming. So we deliver our STEM, entrepreneurship, life skills, and outdoor programs throughout 35 counties in Florida. We are the largest geographic Girl Scout council in the state of Florida and the second largest girl serving council in the state. There are 5 additional councils that deliver the Girl Scout leadership experience. And together we're proud to serve nearly 60,000 girls, and almost 30,000 adults partner with us in a number of ways to deliver the Girl Scout leadership experience. So I don't have to tell you all that we know in communities across the state of Florida, there's a lack of safe, healthy activities for girls. In fact, a few years ago, one of our research studies that we did nationally, and then we took it state by state, indicated that girls in the state of Florida are less likely to participate in extracurricular activities compared to almost every other state in the US. So we all have a responsibility to engage girls. And at Girl Scouts, we feel it's important to reinforce the fundamental assets of healthy development, particularly now. Furthermore, girls face many challenges that prevent them from obtaining academic success and developing positive life skills. And that's why our 4 programs, our 4 councils come together to deliver this program called Get Real across the state of Florida. And Get Real is a gender responsive program. It provides mentoring and life skill development for girls at risk ages 11 through 15. So we're targeting middle school girls with this program. Girls are referred into the Get Real program through their school guidance counselor, teachers, and principals based on several risk factors that may include, first of all, being 1 or more grades below their grade level, scoring a level 1 or 2 on the FCAT, high absenteeism, actually extensive disciplinary referrals, or even mental and behavioral health issues. So we are really tackling some critical components for girls. The Get Real program provides an opportunity each year for 900 girls, grades 6 through 8, to connect with 40 community members who serve as mentors. And those mentors provide this program at no cost to the family of the girl or girls. And we partner with the schools and provide the program mostly in Title I schools at no cost, but no cost no matter the school. So for at least an hour each week, over 30 sessions, these mentors meet with the girls after school, either in person or virtually. And the mentoring facilitators are uniquely qualified to deal with youth, especially at-risk girls. And they live in the communities they are serving. So they build consistent relationships with the girls and the families often, and help to establish trust and respect and empathy. The program provides support, intervention, and connections, which in turn have a positive impact on girls' academics and social and emotional development. And the mentors are paid, trained professionals. So it's not what you might think of a mom or a dad being a Girl Scout volunteer. These are paid trade professionals. And as I said, actually live in the communities to develop those really strong mentoring relationships. Our current emphasis in the Get Real program is on improving literacy, life skills, social skills, educational enhancements, and community services. The Get Real program supports Florida's Reading Initiative through weekly reading and writing opportunities, including reading Sunshine State books, poems, or short stories. And the curriculum also focuses on self-esteem, social development, and interpersonal relationships. And it's a structured support group using the Girl Scout Research Institute, which we have the largest institute that focuses on nothing but girl and sometimes women behavior because we grow up. But the program focuses on the toolkits from the Research Institute and the badge programs that we have. Educational enhancement opportunities allow girls to explore their communities or even get outdoors. We actually take girls out to learn about local history, visit colleges, or even go to camp. And I will share a personal story. We did our camp this past early fall, right before school started, with our Get Real girls that live in Duval County. Okay, so do you know that Duval County on the east is all ocean? And these girls had never seen the ocean. So that's the importance of this program. Something that's always been a part of Girl Scouts is giving back to the community, and these girls may encourage, or they're encouraged and may engage in community service projects like collecting toys for kids or helping in a soup kitchen. And they can also take their community project to the next level through a program that we call Take Action Projects for Girl Scouts. Involvement in Get Real has proven, we obviously measure, just as I'm sure your organizations do, the impact of this program, but it has proven to increase academic achievement for girls, including improving grades, attendance, and reducing absenteeism or disciplinary action. And this year, 75% of the girls in the program we know will see an improvement in their literacy skills. 90% will be promoted on time to the next grade level. 60% will decrease their tardiness and absentee rates, and 70% will demonstrate an increase in the development of life skills. Those are the critical components that we measure year after year. So overall, the Get Real curriculum and proven outcomes contribute to positive personal development, which fuels academic and lifelong success. So again, I thank you for your time today, for allowing me to tell another component of the Girl Scout story, share with you the success way beyond cookies and the other programming opportunities that we have for girls. So I'm happy, Holly, if we have some time for questions, to answer some questions.
That is spectacular. Thank you so much. I love the fact that you're connecting everything that you're doing directly to outcome measures. That helps us as a network tell the story of the impact of after school. And too often, I think we silo out after school and we think it's just what happens at like an extended day program, but we know, or at a private provider, and we oftentimes don't think about all these amazing programs that are being offered by our partners like the Girl Scouts. So thank you so much for that overview. We do purposely build in time for questions and answers. And so as everyone that's on the call is thinking about that, I'll kickstart. I actually wrote down two. So I'll kickstart my first one and then let everybody else go and kind of end with my last one. But the first one is knowing, I've told you a little bit about the Florida After School Network in our pre-calls. What do you think a benefit of a statewide network committed to advancing high quality after school opportunities for all could have on the Get Real program and potentially on Girl Scouts as a whole?
Oh, I love that question, Holly. So I just to share a little background, I came from the for-profit world. I mentioned I was in communications telecom. And I was really fortunate to have the position in a number of those 22 years to be the one to write the checks, right? To say, oh, we're going to support the Girl Scouts or Boys and Girls Club or whatever. And so in that position, we did a lot of research about after school activities. And I don't know if this data still stands, but 80% of the learning at that time happened after school. Right? Not in school. And I was a teacher, if you ever taught, you knew that you couldn't control kids and learn and have them learning for 5 to 7 hours a day. So I believe that the strength of and just the velocity of a formal after school statewide effort helps to lift every community. I really believe that. So I was with Time Warner and AT&T was our competitor. And, I firmly believe that if we used to say, oh, we can't do anything if AT&T's in the market, we're not going to support that if they're supporting it. That doesn't work, right? And if the Boys and Girls Clubs or any of your organizations have our programming focusing specifically on girls and we come together and partner and we know what each of us is doing, clearly lifts the state of Florida together. I firmly believe that. I know it.
Awesome. Thank you for that. For those that have other questions that you would like to ask, go ahead and come off mute to do that. I will ask one question. When you were talking about the impact of reaching girls, something that you said that really stuck out to me was about how unlikely girls are to participate in after school programming or that extracurricular activities, I believe is the word that you used. We recently partnered with STEM Next in the Million Girls Moonshot Moment, which is more about promoting girls in STEM. But I heard when you were talking about the different programs that you are involved with through the badge program and other things, and my very limited knowledge and memory of the Girl Scouts. Have you heard of Million Girls Moonshot? And is that something that you've been engaged with at all?
So I'm not sure if we've been engaged with that specifically, probably in some way, shape, or form, but Girl Scouts is actually the largest STEM program provider for girls K through 3rd grade. So we are in that, and Holly, okay, and anybody, Jennifer, Mary, I don't know if you were Girl Scouts or not, but so there's a method to the madness. So we may not have used STEM. We probably did, Holly, when you were a Girl Scout, but we certainly weren't using the word STEM or the acronym STEM when I was a Girl Scout, but I was still learning science at camp or wherever I was, or math, or maybe not engineering, but, so we sometimes I think we get, as a nation, we get hyper-focused on STEM. And yes, girls, absolutely. I firmly believe. I was involved in another program called Connect a Million Minds, where it was connecting children to STEM opportunities, because the technology companies were, I retired and other people retired that were in technology, and there wasn't the pipeline of women particularly to come into the telecom industry or any other company or industry that follows in STEM. So it is critical. This is just my personal opinion. We can't forget everything else, life skills and outdoor and really encouraging. Obviously I'm biased. I have a son as well, but a daughter, but I'm the Girl Scouts at girls to really identify what's important to them, and then ensure that they have the pathways to be successful.
Thank you for that. Tasha, I saw that you came off camera. Do you have a question for our speaker?
I do. I'm wondering how, if at all, do you incorporate technology into the things that you do with your girls? I think there's so much out there right now, and I'm just wondering if there's a specific space that you're working like that.
Oh my gosh. Trisha Ray, do you want to answer that? We are in every technology space.
Yeah, sure. We agree. Yeah, we totally agree, Tasha. Part of what we do is deliver 21st century skills, which especially right now is digital literacy, right? So we have extensive badge workshops that we do with our girls focused on cybersecurity and coding. That's a lot of what our girls do. So we actually bring in some coding experts and cybersecurity experts to deliver programs. And especially it's great to have females who lead in those industries so that the girls can start to see themselves in those roles. So we partner with organizations like Kids Can Code and Bank of America to deliver those programs for our girls. We also do a lot in digital literacy. As you guys may have heard, there's a lot going on right now about girls' mental health when it comes to social media. So we actually have some badge work for them that actually teaches them how to participate in social media in a healthy manner. We think it's critical, and it starts for girls all the way down to daisies coming up. That's our kindergartners all the way up, because it is critical that they learn it now, because it is part of their life, right? So we just want to make sure that they know how to do it healthy and build healthy relationships, whether it's in person or online.
That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. Do you work with the girls actively to post messaging on things like TikTok and their Instagram so that it spreads beyond Girl Scouts to their peer groups and that sort of thing?
Well, we do. I giggled because we have a media team who we train even deeper to help share their messaging so that they're reaching their friends. And hey, that's a twofold purpose. More really, probably many factors play into this, but we want other girls to know the strength behind Girl Scouts. We also want other girls to know that we will help prepare them. The research that recently came out just was heartbreaking to me. And so we did so last year when the pandemic,
Is that her or my system?
No, it's her.
Oh, okay. Sometimes you never know unless it pops up to say that your internet's unstable. And I'm like, oh, is it me?
How your eyes move, Holly.
Froze up
Like,
on
okay, it's not me.
Well, hopefully she'll come back in just a moment. Trisha Ray, I don't know if you're still with us.
Yeah,
I don't know where she was telling a story, so I can't exactly speak to that, but I can tell you, yes, our media team is very involved. So girls use social media for us on our behalf. I mean, girls tell our best stories, right? They want to hear from their peers. So we give them some media training, and we also have them write stories for us that we put, whether it's on our blog or share through Instagram. We don't do a lot of TikTok, but I have heard that's where we are missing an opportunity for our girls today, that's for sure. So there are opportunities there, but also with our cookie program, we have moved into the digital space and encouraged girls to use their social media presence to help build their cookie program. So really, they're entrepreneurs in their own business. So that all comes into play.
Awesome. Well, I'm not sure if she popped back on yet or not, but if she does, then we can always kind of come back to it. So I want to encourage your team to stick around. Are there other members of our team that might have questions that Trisha Ray can answer?
I feel like the Girl Scouts have come a long way. It's super exciting to see all that you guys have done. It's very different from when I was a kid. I think it's great. I wonder if, and this is a side note, with the Boy Scouts allowing girls in, if that has impacted at all the enrollment, because my other thought is if I had a daughter, I don't know how I would feel about that, but I kind of think there's a great argument for a safe space for girls to be girls and explore areas without the competition of boys. And I don't mean
Katie, were you a Girl Scout?
I was a Brownie and a Girl Scout.
Yeah, okay. You speak our language, that's why I had to know. So we agree. And as most of you guys, being in the space may understand, girls do need a safe space to really grow and be themselves. Our curriculum is based on all research and outcomes driven. As Marianne shared, we have that research institute. So everything that we do is with a purpose, and it's specifically for girls and how they learn and how they develop. The most important outcome that I honestly feel is if you are a Girl Scout in middle school, your self-esteem actually will either stay the same or go up. And as we all know, that's where we tend to see a lot of girls really lose self-esteem, especially given the digital age that we're in right now with cyberbullying and things like that. So it is critical for girls to be part of the movement at that time in a all-girl environment, to have that place to really fall and feel the girls around them to help lift them back up and not have to worry about a boy in the room or having that fear. So we agree with you totally, Katie, about having that safe space, and we will continue to be specifically focused on girls and girl development.
If I may add, in Broward, about 4 years ago, we launched as part of our strategic plan committees, the Girls Coordinating Council, to create precisely that type of space in the recognition that it is essential to have programs and to have activities, gender based, that where girls can be safe. And the call that I was on before this call with our partners and Neighbors for Neighbors, their Channel 4's philanthropy, their broadcast out of CBS 4 here, we were talking about a cyberbullying environment that especially affects girls. The new executive director there was talking about a personal experience where her daughter in middle school was a victim of cyberbullying. And so we have connected them with the Humanity Project to do a whole series, a whole symposium specific to cyberbullying and in particular how it affects girls and young women. So yes, this all resonates.
Thanks for sharing that, Andrew. I want to, Katie brought up, the question about safe place for girls. We're talking about curriculum, and you used the word gender responsive curriculum, or the phrase. And I was recently listening to some conversations that's happening in our Florida legislature and beyond in other circles about the need for gender responsive curriculum. And at the time that I was listening to it, and it was talking specifically about early learning. And Katie, I know that you're with us, so I kind of, if you've heard anything about this, am interested on your spin-off on it. Because I think that in the after school space, especially around girls, we've constantly talked about gender responsive curriculum for specifically for after school programming. And it has been right with Million Girls and STEM research, but even the stuff that we're just talking about now with the cyberbullying, social and mental health and all of that. So I was just curious, Katie, have you heard any conversations about that? Is this something that we're moving more towards with our younger learners?
I have not. You know, so much of my work right now has been on PVG. And for those of you who don't know, I'm a Office of Early Learning. I'm sorry, Division of Early Learning. That's changed too. And I know, and we have the preschool development grant. And so while we serve birth to 13, so much of the past couple of years has been on that birth to 5, with the idea that once we solidify so many of those programs, we'll be able to expand into the older ages. Like, for example, I'm working on a special needs rate right now that I'm hoping will encourage more after school providers to serve children with special needs. So that said, I have not, but now that you've said that, I would really like to start looking and seeing what's there.
I literally heard it 2 days ago. So I'm in terms of the circles that I'm involved with. So clearly, Trisha, yeah, absolutely. I think Marianne was able to get back on. Hi, welcome back. So
it may not be long. Like I said, Comcast was working down the street and everything went out, power and my internet. But I know you have a robust agenda and who knows what will happen. I wanted to mention, Katie, too, and to everyone else, and I know we're talking about Get Real, but we have a program called Kindergarten Readiness that prepares 4 and 5-year-olds for kindergarten, girls for kindergarten as well. And maybe sometime, Katie, we can share the details about that. We've actually launched it with Duval County 2 years ago, and then expanded this year into St. John's and I think Clay and maybe Leon. So with 35 counties, we really have some ability, again, for all of us to collaborate. So thank you. I'll send that information to you. Thanks. And so just in case something happens to me, I'm still here, but I just wanted to thank you again.
And that is exactly what this is all about, making those connections so that we can share best practices from one community to another. So I love that you guys were just able to make that connection. And I know that the kindergarten readiness stuff, I would like to share that in all of our state communities that have grade level reading campaigns, which is now almost every single county. If you go to their website, they'll show like who the project leads are. That might be another inroad for the Gateway Council to share your curriculum across the state, especially in those more rural areas. Between Tallahassee and Pensacola, often I say sometimes it's the vacuum, and it's my backyard. I'm originally from Pensacola, went to high school in Tallahassee, so like the Panhandle is my place. That's my people. And but oftentimes they don't tend to get the same level of resources that might be available in South Florida. So I would really strongly encourage you look up the grade level reading campaign and those contacts to see if there's opportunities to build bridges and share curriculum and ideas.